It's a greatest hits edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We take a look back at some of our favorites. We've got Kevin Walsh, Brittany David, Katherine Graham, and Seth Godin. Watch and learn. Mistakes happen in business. They just do. So how can businesses use these challenges to further grow their relationships and sales?
A great question, actually. And one of the fundamental premises of the showdown experience is our on-target guarantee. And I don't want to turn this into a commercial. That's not what it's intended for. But really, what the on-target guarantee is all about is how would we expect to be treated by one of our vendors if something went wrong? And I think when something goes wrong, the worst thing any vendor or distributor can do is create blame, and increase the tension. Because really, at the end of the day, we all just want a resolution for that.
Yeah.
But our on-target guarantee at Showdown enables anyone throughout the organization, frontline customer service associates, all the way up to myself, president, to do whatever it's going to take to make sure that customer and client interaction ends in a delightful experience. We all have mistakes. How we recover from them is really where that transcends being a supplier and into a partnership.
Yeah.
And we like to believe by having that on-target guarantee and having that approach that doesn't require approvals, it's empowerment for our sales associates, our customer care associates, that then builds at the customer level that, wow, you know what, that's what I would have to do for my client. So thank you for taking care of me in that same fashion. So, treat people how you'd like to be treated.
Why, as a company, did you guys decide to invest like that, and how has it evolved?
We're always looking for a way to be different in the industry, right? You can get a lanyard just about anywhere. You can get a lip balm just about anywhere. For people who don't know that, I guess we'll pretend that you can only get it from Snugs. But we sell a lot of commodity products, and we're trying to figure out how can we set ourselves apart from all of the other noise when an image looks potentially exactly the same from one white tube lip balm to another, or a red lanyard to another. And sales and marketing are a huge part of that. And how can you be memorable, or how can you make it fun, or how can we carry that experience over and translate it from the magic that we feel that we have going from a personnel standpoint, but the creativity to make us top of mind, because we feel like we add a lot of value, we're at a great price point, all of those different things that everybody can say, but how do you show that and make sure you're top of mind? So we've invested heavily in that, and we have so much talent, especially on the marketing side, from video with Jeff Anderton, who's a crazy, fun, creative genius, to our social media guy, Cody. His little 12 Days of Christmas that's going on right now, if you've seen him, have you been watching?
I love it.
Funny.
Yes.
I mean, he's great. So,
Snugsmas.
Along with Brandon Brown and Chris Duncan, there's a lot of really just creative people over there that you don't want to ruin the magic. But also on the sales team, having crazy Steve Rohn and Sidra and Kathy and Katie and our inside sales team, it's just a fun dynamic that keeps on being fueled. And it's like, don't kill the creativity. Whatever you do, just don't kill the creativity. So, it's one area that we're just fortunate to have the people and the talent, and we see a lot of rewards from it, or at least we enjoy it. We hope other people do too.
What are some of the things or people that kind of inspire you and get you going?
Oh, there's no doubt it's people like you. Here's the big shift. When I was coming up, there were 3 business magazines, right? There was Forbes when it was good. There was Business Week and the other one, I don't know. And there was Tom Peters and maybe a couple other people. And there was this little choke point. And we had to look through a very little peephole to see people who were doing work that mattered, who were leading, who were being generous. And now it's wide open. I mean, we're talking about 1 million books being published a year, maybe 2 million. Wow. We're talking about 200,000 podcasts, maybe 500,000. Yeah. So it's a mistake to think that the grassroots is something that powerful people do something to. It's the other way around. The grassroots creates our culture. And if you add up enough people who are inspiring 1,000 people each or 10,000 people each, that's a lot of people. And so when I look at the small business person who's building something, or I look at the podcaster who shows up week after week, I think those people, that's who I work for, and I am inspired to do better because of them.
That's awesome. You are leading an organization that many people in our industry, me included, admire. It's also, I think you guys are innovative, right? So as a leader, how do you kind of keep people excited on day-to-day stuff and still keep the innovation rolling?
I think there's the train in Coshocton.
So the way we schedule it, Catherine, is when I'm doing live interviews is when they go ahead and come through. So I appreciate their timeliness.
That's big character. It's the Coshocton flavor, you know.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So funny.
In terms of keeping people kind of engaged and excited, I think that a lot of it relates to ensuring that everyone understands what the mission is that you're trying to accomplish. And if you can keep kind of injecting that back into the conversation day to day, and I think about, from a Common SKU perspective, that we are really driven by being able to, empower entrepreneurs to run better businesses. And when we hear success stories coming out of that, of how it is that, the software, the platform has ultimately transformed, the way a business operates, or has allowed, a business to grow or to do more, with the existing infrastructure they have, that sharing those success stories back within the team kind of continually connects the dots to what it is that the mission is that we're on in the first place, and really keeps that excitement going. I think the other piece of it is also just making sure that you keep it fun. Like, ultimately, we're in a fun industry. We do fun things as work, and to not take ourselves too seriously from that perspective. So, there's a lot of joking in the office and a lot of making fun of each other. And so kind of, keeping that self-deprecating humor, I think, is ultimately does a lot to just make sure that coming into work every day remains fun.